Anne Jacqueline Hathaway, born November 12, 1982, is an American actress and singer. After several stage roles, Hathaway appeared in the 1999 television series Get Real. She came to prominence after playing Mia Thermopolis in the Disney film The Princess Diaries, 2001, and in its 2004 sequel. Since then, Hathaway has starred in dramatic films such as the 2005 movies Havoc and Brokeback Mountain. She has also starred in The Devil Wears Prada in 2006 and in Becoming Jane, 2007, as Jane Austen, and also in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Rises, 2012, as Selina Kyle, Catwoman, and Interstellar, 2014. In 2008, she won several awards for her performance in Rachel Getting Married, also earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. In 2010, she starred in the box office hits Valentine's Day, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, and Love and Other Drugs, and won an Emmy Award for her voice-over performance on The Simpsons. In 2011, she had a voice role in the animated film Rio. In 2012, she portrayed Selina Kyle, Catwoman in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises and Fantine in Tom Hooper's Les Miserables. Her performance in the latter earned her rave reviews and several accolades, including the Golden Globe Award, the Screen Actors Guild Award, the BAFTA Award, and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. People magazine named her one of its breakthrough stars of 2001, and she appeared on its list of the world's 50 most beautiful people in 2006. Early life. Hathaway was born in Brooklyn, New York, the daughter of Kathleen Ann Kate, née Macaulay, and Gerald Thomas Hathaway. Her father is a lawyer, and her mother is a former actress who inspired Hathaway to follow in her footsteps. Hathaway's mother played Fantine in the first U.S. tour of Les Miserables. When Hathaway was 6 years old, the family moved to Millburn, New Jersey, where she grew up. Hathaway is the middle of 3 children with an older brother, Michael, and a younger brother, Thomas. Her mother is of Irish descent, and her father is of Irish, French, English and German ancestry. Her surname originates in the United Kingdom. Raised Roman Catholic with what she considers really strong values, Hathaway stated that she wished to be a nun during her childhood. When I was 11, I felt like I got a calling from God to be a nun. At the age of 15, her relationship with the Catholic Church changed after she learned that her brother Michael was gay. She has stated, "I realized my older brother was gay, and I couldn't support a religion that didn't support my brother. Now I call myself a non-denominational Christian, because I haven't found the religion for me." In 2009, she stated that her religious beliefs are a work in progress. Hathaway attended Brooklyn Heights Montessori School and Wyoming Elementary School in Millburn. She graduated from Millburn High School, where she participated in many school plays. Her high school performance as Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress won her a Paper Mill Playhouse Rising Star Award nomination for Best Performance by a High School Actress. During this time, she was in plays including Jane Eyre and Gigi at New Jersey's Paper Mill Playhouse. She spent several semesters studying as an English major and women's studies minor at Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York, before transferring to New York University's Gallatin School of Individualized Study, referring to her college enrollment as one of her best decisions because she enjoyed being with others who were trying to grow up. Hathaway also studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and was the first teenager admitted into the Barrow Group Theatre Company's acting program. A soprano, she performed in 1998 and 1999 with the All-Eastern U.S. High School Honors Chorus at Carnegie Hall and has performed in plays at Seton Hall Preparatory School in West Orange, New Jersey. She is a trained stage actress and has stated that she prefers performing on stage to film roles. Her acting style has been compared to those of Judy Garland and Audrey Hepburn. She cites Garland as one of her favorite actresses and Meryl Streep as her idol. Career 1999 to 2004. Career beginnings and breakthrough. At the age of 16, 3 days after her 1999 performance at Carnegie Hall, she was cast in the short-lived Fox television series Get Real. Hathaway's first role in a motion picture was opposite Christopher Gorham in Walt Disney's drama film The Other Side of Heaven, 2001, inspired by John H. Groberg's memoir In the Eye of the Storm. Before production of the film, she was cast alongside Julie Andrews in the lead role of Mia Thermopolis in another Disney production, the comedy film The Princess Diaries, based on Meg Cabot's 2000 novel of the same name and directed by Gary Marshall. Hathaway auditioned for the role of a princess to be during a flight layover on the way to New Zealand and was cast on the strength of this one audition. She won the role over 500 other girls. Released prior to The Other Side of Heaven in hopes that its success would increase interest in Heaven, The Princess Diaries became a major commercial success, grossing $165 million worldwide. Many critics praised Hathaway's performance, with a BBC critic noting that Hathaway shines in the title role and generates great chemistry. Also released in 2001, The Other Side of Heaven, directed by Mitch Davis, met with mostly negative reviews, but it performed well for a religion-themed film. Hathaway starred in the City Center Encore's concert production of Carnival in her New York City stage debut, receiving positive reviews for her portrayal of Lily in February 2002. Also in 2002, Hathaway began voicing the audiobook releases of The Princess Diaries and has since voiced the first 3 books of the series. She also provided the voice of the character Haru in the English version of Hiroyuki Murita's The Cat Returns. Hathaway appeared in family-oriented films over the next 3 years, subsequently becoming known in mainstream media as a children's role model. In 2002, she appeared in Douglas McGrath's comedy drama Nicholas Nickleby, opposite Charlie Hunnam and Jamie Bell, which opened to positive reviews. The Deseret News said that the cast was Oscar-worthy. Despite critical acclaim, the film never entered wide release and failed at the North American box office, totaling less than $4 million in ticket sales. Hathaway's next film role was as the titular character in the rom-com fantasy film Ella Enchanted, 2004, a loose adaptation of Gail Carson Levine's 1997 novel of the same name, which opened to mostly indifferent reviews. Hathaway sang 2 songs in the film as well as 3 on the soundtrack, including a duet with singer Jesse McCartney. In 2003, Hathaway dropped out of her role in Joel Schumacher's The Phantom of the Opera, 2004, because the production schedule of the film overlapped with The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement, which she was contractually obligated to make. Disney began production on The Princess Diaries 2 in early 2004, and it was released in August of that year. The film opened to negative reviews, but made $95.1 million against a $40 million budget. 2005-07, transition to adult roles and success. Hathaway began appearing in dramatic roles after The Princess Diaries 2. She said that anybody who was a role model for children needs a reprieve, although she noted that it's lovely to think that my audience is growing up with me. She voiced Red Puckett in the animated comedy Hoodwinked, 2005, based on the Little Red Riding Hood folktale, which received mixed reviews by critics. Hathaway replaced Red's original voice artist Tara Strong and sang the song Great Big World. That same year, Hathaway starred in Barbara Koppel's drama film Havoc, in which she played a spoiled socialite, appearing nude in some of its scenes. Although the content of the film was different from her previous films, Hathaway denied that her role was an attempt to be seen as a more mature actress, citing her belief that doing nudity in certain movies is merely a part of what her chosen form of art demands of her, and because of that belief she does not consider appearing nude in appropriate films to be morally objectionable. After Havoc, Hathaway was cast alongside Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal in Ang Lee's drama Brokeback Mountain, 2005. While Havoc was not released in theaters in the United States because of its weak critical reception, Brokeback Mountain won rave reviews and received several Academy Award nominations. Hathaway later stated that the content of Brokeback Mountain was more important than its award count and that making the film made her more aware of the kind of stories she wanted to tell as an actress. In 2006, Hathaway appeared in David Frankel's comedy The Devil Wears Prada, in which she starred as an assistant to a powerful fashion magazine editor portrayed by Meryl Streep, whom Hathaway described as being just divine. Hathaway said that working on the film made her respect the fashion industry a great deal more than she had previously, though she claimed that her personal style is something she still can't get right. In an interview with Us Weekly, Hathaway discussed the weight loss regimen she and co-star Emily Blunt followed for the film. She stated, "I basically stuck with fruit, vegetables and fish, slim down. I wouldn't recommend that. Emily Blunt and I would clutch at each other and cry because we were so hungry." Hathaway was cast in the 2007 comedy Knocked Up, but dropped out before filming began and was replaced by Katherine Heigl. Writer, director Judd Apatow stated in a May 2007 issue of the New York Times Magazine that this happened because she didn't want to allow us to use real footage of a woman giving birth to create the illusion that she is giving birth. In an August 2008 interview with Marie Claire, Hathaway commented that she didn't believe that it was necessary to the story. Hathaway was in the 2007 drama Becoming Jane, in which she portrayed English writer Jane Austen. Tim Burton considered Hathaway for the part of Johanna Barker in his 2007 film Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, but the role went to Jane Wisner, a then unknown actress, reportedly because Burton decided he wanted an unknown, younger actress for the part. 2008-10, continued success. In January 2008, Hathaway joined beauty giant Lancome as the face of their fragrance Magnifique, and in October of that year, Hathaway hosted the NBC late-night sketch comedy Saturday Night Live. Her first film of the year was a modern adaptation of the 1960s Mel Brooks television series Get Smart, in which she starred opposite Steve Carell and Alan Arkin, portraying Agent 99. Directed by Peter Siegel, the film was a hit at the box office, prompting talk of a sequel. She also made a cameo appearance in the tie-in film Get Smart's Bruce and Lloyd, Out of Control. Also in 2008, she premiered the drama Passengers, alongside Patrick Wilson, as well as the drama Rachel Getting Married, opposite Deborah Winger. Rachel Getting Married premiered at the 2008 Venice and Toronto film festivals and garnered her widespread critical acclaim for her performance as Kim, including nominations for both an Academy Award and a Golden Globe. Hathaway said that the film appealed to her because of its real depiction of relationships and because of the strong emotional connection she felt with her character. Hathaway appeared in the comedy Bride Wars, released in 2009, which she described as being hideously commercial, gloriously so, in addition to providing her voice for episodes of The Simpsons, which garnered her an Emmy Award in 2010 for Outstanding Voice-Over Performance, and Family Guy in 2010. Hathaway also appeared as Viola in the New York Shakespeare Festival's summer 2009 production of Twelfth Night at the Delacorte Theater in New York City's Central Park, opposite Audra McDonald as Olivia, Raul Esparza as Duke Orsino, and Julie White as Maria. In the same year, Hathaway was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. In 2010, Hathaway played the White Queen in Tim Burton's adaptation of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass alongside Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. She summed up her character with a caption on a magnet of Happy Bunny holding a knife, "Cute but psycho. Things even out." Hathaway described her interpretation of the White Queen as a punk rock vegan pacifist, with inspiration drawn from Debbie Harry, Greta Garbo, and the artwork of Dan Flavin. Other projects included the romantic comedy The Fiancé, an adaptation of the Julie Buxbaum novel The Opposite of Love, the Gary Marshall-directed ensemble comedy Valentine's Day, and an adaptation of Gerald Clark's biography Get Happy, The Life of Judy Garland, in which she played the title role on the stage and screen. It was reported on December 8, 2009, that Hathaway was up for the role of Felicia Hardy in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. Hardy would not have transformed into the Black Cat, as in the comics. Instead, Raimi's Felicia was expected to become a brand new superpowered figure called the Vulture-S. On January 5, 2010, it was reported that Spider-Man 4 was cancelled and the series would be restarted and Hathaway would not appear in the film, as she was too expensive. On November 29, 2010, it was announced that Hathaway and James Franco would host the 83rd Academy Awards. Together with actor Denzel Washington, Hathaway hosted the Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo, Norway on December 11, 2010. In 2010, she was named one of the sexiest stars of the year by Entertainment Weekly. 2011 present, critical acclaim and recognition. In 2011, Hathaway voiced the character Jewel, as Pix's Macaw from Rio de Janeiro, in the animated adventure comedy film Rio, produced by 20th Century Fox and Blue Sky Studios. The film received generally positive reviews from film critics who praised the visuals, voice acting, and music. A commercial success, it went on to gross over $143 million in the United States and $484 million worldwide. Also in 2011, Hathaway starred alongside Jim Sturgis in the romance One Day, adapted by David Nichols from his 2009 novel of the same name and directed by Lone Scherfig. The film tells the story of two young people who meet on the same day, July 15, for the 20 years after they share a one-night stand together at university. Hathaway was clandestinely given the script as One Day was set in the United Kingdom and Scherfig was not looking for any American actresses for the part. After a non-productive meeting with Scherfig, Hathaway left a list of songs for Scherfig to listen to, which eventually led to Hathaway getting the part. However, Hathaway's Yorkshire accent in the role of Emma was later widely regarded as subpar. Columnist Suzanne Moore, reviewing the film on BBC Radio 4's Front Row, said the accents were all over the shop. Moore went on to say, "Sometimes she's from Scotland, sometimes she's from New York, you just can't tell." The film itself received mixed to negative reviews from critics, but became a moderate box office success, grossing a total of $56.7 million with a budget of $15 million. In 2012, Hathaway's audiobook recording of L. Frank Baum's The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was released at Audible.com. Her performance was nominated for a 2013 Audie Award for Best Solo Narration, Female. Later in 2012, Hathaway played sly, morally ambiguous cat burglar Selina Kyle in The Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan's final installment in his Batman film trilogy. Hathaway auditioned not knowing what role she was being considered for, admitting that she had one character in mind, but only learned that the role was Selina Kyle after talking with Christopher Nolan for an hour. She described the role as being the most physically demanding she had ever played, and confessed that while she thought of herself as being fit she had to redouble her efforts in the gym to to keep up with the demands of the role. Hathaway trained extensively in martial arts for the role, and looked to Hedy Lamarr, who was the inspiration for the Catwoman character, in developing her performance. Upon release, The Dark Knight Rises received a positive critical response and grossed over $1.081 billion worldwide, becoming the third highest grossing film of 2012. Hathaway also won the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance as Selina Kyle. Hathaway's other 2012 project was Tom Hooper's film Les Miserables, which was based on the musical of the same name and in which she played Fantine. Her mother had played the role in the stage show's first national U.S. tour. Footage of Hathaway singing I Dreamed a Dream, a song from the film, was shown at CinemaCon on April 26, 2012. Hooper described Hathaway's singing as raw and real. For the role, Hathaway lost a substantial amount of weight, and, in character, had her long hair cut short on camera. She stated that the lengths she goes for her roles do not feel like sacrifices. Getting to transform is one of the best parts of acting. For her performance, Hathaway received critical acclaim and won over 30 different awards, including the Academy Award, Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild Award and BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actress. Christopher Orr from The Atlantic wrote that Hathaway gives it everything she has, beginning in quiet sorrow before building to a woebegone climax. She gasps, she weeps, she coughs. If you are blown away by the scene, as many will be, this may be the film for you. Ann Hornaday of The Washington Post wrote that the centerpiece of a movie composed entirely of centerpieces belongs to Anne Hathaway, who as the tragic heroine Fantine sings another of the memorable numbers. In January 2013, Hathaway's rendition of I Dreamed a Dream reached number 69 on the Billboard Hot 100. Hathaway reprised her role as Jewel in the animated film Rio 2, which was released in North America on April 11, 2014. This was the third time Hathaway starred with Jamie Foxx. Hathaway starred in Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, along with Matthew McConaughey and Jessica Chastain. The science fiction film pertained to relativist Kip Thorne's theories on wormholes, and was released in the United States and Canada on November 5, 2014. She will reprise the role of the White Queen in Alice Through the Looking Glass, the sequel to Alice in Wonderland, which is slated for release on May 27, 2016. In November 2015 she joined the ensemble cast of Shane Carruth's third film, The Modern Ocean alongside Keanu Reeves, Jeff Goldblum, Daniel Radcliffe, Chloe Grace Moritz, Asa Butterfield, Tom Holland and Abraham Atta. Personal life, relationships. In 2004, Hathaway developed a romantic relationship with Italian real estate developer Raffaello Folieri, during which she participated in the development of the charitable Folieri Foundation, as a donor and as a member of its board of directors until 2007. The Manhattan-based foundation, established in 2003, focused on efforts such as providing vaccinations for children in third world countries. In June 2008, it was investigated by the IRS for failure to file required nonprofit information forms, citing concern that this investigation and other legal issues in which Folieri was involved could hurt her acting career. Hathaway ended their relationship in mid-June 2008. On June 24, 2008, Folieri was arrested on charges of defrauding investors out of millions of dollars in a scheme in which Folieri posed as the Vatican's point man on real estate investing. It was reported that the FBI confiscated Hathaway's private journals from Folieri's New York City apartment as part of their ongoing investigation into Folieri's activities. However, Hathaway was not charged with any crime. On October 23, 2008, after earlier pleading guilty, Folieri was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. In November 2008, Hathaway started dating actor Adam Schulman. The couple became engaged in November 2011 and were married on September 29, 2012, in Big Sur, California in an interfaith Christian and Jewish service. In late November 2015, it was announced that Hathaway and Schulman are expecting their first child. Charity work and other interests. Hathaway is involved with charities, including the Creative Coalition, the Step Up Women's Network, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, the Human Rights Campaign, and the Lollipop Theater Network. In 2008, she was honored at Elle magazine's Women in Hollywood tribute, and has also been honored for her work with Step Up Women's Network. In early 2007, Hathaway spoke of her experiences with depression during her teenage years, saying that she eventually overcame the disorder without medication. In 2008, on Late Show with David Letterman, Hathaway said she had once again stopped smoking. The actress, who had begun smoking heavily while filming Rachel Getting Married, had quit for a while, but had started again in the wake of her stressful summer and the end of her relationship with Raffaello Folieri. She credited quitting smoking for the subsequent decline in her stress level, and declared her return to being vegetarian. She later became a vegan in early 2012, but quit during filming of Interstellar in August 2014. Hathaway is an LGBT rights activist and has donated money to organizations that support same-sex marriage. Filmography: film, television, theater, discography, charted songs. For her songs in Ella Enchanted, see track listing for the Ella Enchanted soundtrack. Guest appearances, awards and nominations.